G'day guys, welcome back to another video with Enno here from Fantasy Take TV. Today I'll be doing my team update ahead of the last week until round one, and just after the AAMI games finished on Monday, the last one, of course, Geelong and Gold Coast, which was a couple of days now. Oh, we were all scrambling after that game. What do we do to our teams? That threw a spanner in the works. But across the whole weekend, there was quite a few things that at the end of the day didn't really go our way, and the rookie situation, as we all know, is looking very, very dire. You've probably already spotted a few things on my team that are a bit questionable, but look, for the next week, probably going to be a lot of playing around with structure. Guys that we think are non-negotiables from our team is going to have to be decided, because ultimately sacrifices are going to have to be made somewhere on the park, and the defense being one where it's really, really poor as far as rookie availability at this stage. Somewhere else is going to have to suffer to sort of combat that. And look, as I'll start straight away with my team, I haven't probably gone to as much sort of what you should be doing in the back line as far as how deep you should go with. Only probably three rookies at this stage, looking like they'll line up in McCartan, DeConning and Gibcus. We might get ones like Boyd from Carlton, Rory Thompson from Gold Coast. Obviously, we're all still got our fingers crossed for Josh Sin. Actually just came out that he signed a 2-year deal with Port already, obviously without playing a game. So obviously shows the faith they have in him. But at this point, we're still unsure as whether he'll play. He only played a half on the weekend, so not really sure where he sits. But starting at D1, Tom Stewart. I just still thinking back to 2 weeks ago how impressive he looked to me against the Tigers in that practice match. Obviously the worries with his foot are there, but the way he played that game was just the Tom Stewart of old, and what we've come to know for the last 5 or 6 years. So. For me, in that sort of price bracket, you might ask why I don't have Jake Lloyd or Jack Crisp. He's just the one I like the most. I think his floor is amazing. His ceiling is probably not amazing either, but it's just so consistent. You probably think you get that with Lloyd too. I just think there's a little bit of a drop-off coming for Lloyd, but look, that's another story. Stewart's my preferred one at this stage. Probably take your pick there between him, Lloyd and maybe Chris, but that some others have liked. It probably, would definitely have been Aaron Hall if he was fit, but obviously we know what happened there. So Jaden Short, I think with all the value that we have to find to sort of pay up for rookies and everything across other lines, I think Shorty for me at 530 just has to be in your team. You might even say Ridley and him have to be in your team at the price point they give you. You could have Ridley and Short D1, D2. But since I'm picking between the two, I'm definitely going with Shorty. I just think we just feed him. We need to use him. Look, on the weekend, Boston wasn't there, and Rioli's probably not up to scratch really at this stage. Hugo's still, a very young player, and only just started playing that role. So Shorty's a man. We know what we're going to get with him, and I think he's just very, very safe, and he's durable, which is what we need. Whitfield, I think it just picks himself at the price and his upside. It's just we really need, as I said before, cash for elsewhere, and at 500 grand, it's just almost impossible not to select him. And look, he wasn't super impressive on the weekend, but it doesn't matter. It's Lockie Whitfield, and he's always going to produce some good numbers for us. So he's in the team, and then honestly, the most could be said about George Hewitt for that price point reason. He's only $3.99, and his 2 preseason games have been absolutely impressive in the midfield. So for me, he's not going anywhere at that price. I know some might say he's not enough to be a keeper. I actually think he can average about 95 and be somewhat of a keeper for us. So again, those last 3, Short, Whitfield and Hewitt, I just do not see leaving my team before next Wednesday. Stewart is possibly one that might, depending on, maybe I need 50k to go down to Ridley or something, but we'll see. These next 3 rookies pick themselves. I think McCartan's going to play. He's looked very impressive on the weekend. DeConning actually had a very good game on Monday, albeit probably the best game we'll ever see from him. So great that doesn't count for us, but yeah, and another thing with Geelong that I did notice, all the defenders were getting points again. Your Atkins, even your Zach Guthrie's, all those sort of halfback types were scoring well. So bodes well for Stewart coming back. I mean, we know what he does anyway, so it probably doesn't need enforcing. But look, DeConning got a fair bit of the ball, so maybe it continues. I just probably don't see it, but right now we need him. You've got to pick him. Gibcus again falls in the same bracket as sort of a must pick or forced to pick. Really, he's not, in my eyes, going to be a great rookie at all. He's won 70k for a start. He's a sort of a key defender. Can intercept, of course. He's got an amazing leap. He had a couple of really nice attempts at bloody mark of the year for already, but just the role that he plays and whatnot is not accustomed to amazing scoring. So for me, he's probably a bench option between these two. Maybe field him over DeConning, but yeah, look, we've just got to pick him out of necessity. Wilmot's probably the one you're looking at going, what the hell are you doing? But Kitty Coleman just came out as being out for 8 to 10 weeks with a hamstring. Now, the week before in the unofficial KO matches that were going on, I thought Wilmot played quite well. And look, Kitty wasn't playing because he had that COVID close contact. So I thought Wilmot was pretty impressive. And then he goes and just, gets himself suspended in that game and has to miss round one. But in my eyes, look, I should probably, ask some more Lion supporters what they think will happen. But I think he'll be in the team relatively early, especially with no Coleman and off that halfback flank, he looked all right. So, look, we're praying we get Sin. I think I have enough money to get Sin if he's picked. So, look, that's how we're looking right now in defence. Things can change there, but we will see, or you will see in the midfield what is going on. So, we'll hide the rest of the team for now. But I posted this on Twitter last night, and after that Gold Coast performance, Took and Matty Rao, who looks back to his best, just shot their hand up for us to pick him. And look, a lot of people would have already had Took and Rao. They were in already quite a bit, quite a few teams. Rao was already in 25%, and Took in I think maybe 15 or 16%. So I mean, that's obviously shot up now after that performance. For Took, we didn't really need to see it. We'd probably know we're going to get that from him this year. But Rao was the impressive one, and really caused some headaches for me in the last couple of days as to who I think out of this sort of group is a must start, or really which one can you sort of forego, because the way it looks with going double rucks and the forward line and whatnot, you basically can't go all of these, and when you do even try to make a team with all of these players, it really just doesn't look right. You'll probably have like Ward and Stevens on the bench, on the mid bench, and you'll be really, really light down back, and it just doesn't really fill yourself with much confidence. You probably even have like a Durden at F6 or something like that. So fitting all of McRae, Steele, Took, Neil and Rao and Berry, it just strangles the rest of your team. And look, there was a lot of comments on that, and which people were dropping. A lot of Berry I did see, and maybe I'll show you now as to what my team looks like. But that is actually exactly what I've done, and it is Jared Berry that's made way. And look, again, it is a week out till round one from tonight, and he could make his way back in. But I just liked Rao more. They were the two I'm tossing. I really want to start these three big mids. I know a lot of us probably do. I think George has been in my ear or our ear in the Discord that it's just not possible, and one of them has to be dropped. But they're going to be really hard to get, these guys. I think these guys can all average 125, and I even think a guy like Took can push 130. But that's another story, and they might just be really, really hard to get during the year. So they're all guys I want to start, and Neil just at the price goes without thought. You can't avoid him, in my opinion. So for me, it came down to Rao and Berry, and I just went with Rao. And look, that can change. You do get I think it's about 80k from Rao to Berry, and what that would possibly do is strengthen the bench a bit. But I can't even see myself sort of doing much with that. Maybe down forward you get another 200k player or something. But yeah, it really is a hard one. So at this stage, that's what I've got. Of course, it can change, but I just really liked what I saw from Real, albeit I only watched the first half. But he just looked like he's got this game back, the contested ball beast that he was early in his career. So look, he's still very, very young in games played, of course, but at this stage, that's who I've got. And then I've got the big three, the JHF, Horne-Francis, Dacos, and Wood. I don't think you can really make a case to go without any of them. Horne-Francis would be the only one, and that just to me feels very scary. I know JD posted his team yesterday without him, and I'd just be, look, you wouldn't be freaking out, but round one they have Hawthorn, and I'm sorry, he could kick a bag on them quite easily. Look, and that's fine. You can make a corrective trade then to get him back in if that's the case, but I just think he just oozes talent. He's ready made. He's already got the body shape, the body type, just the game already to take the AFL, straight on. So yeah, I just can't stomach avoiding him at this point. So Stevens on the bench, and then we got Saligo and McDonald. So hopefully we still get McDonald. Saligo I'm not too sure on, but look, with Laird out and for quite a bit, so maybe you get to roll there. The rucks now, this might be a little bit different because I think everyone's sort of just not assumed, but in their mind they've just locked in Grundy. And I'll be honest, I was for quite a long time. When the game first opened, Grundy was a lock at his price. And after thinking more about it, I think Gawn can just out-average him again. And look, it may not be by much, but he did last year. I know we think that more Jackson time will cut into Gawn's scoring, but his preseason's been awesome. He's been clunking everything. He was dropping a lot of marks last year, and this year it just doesn't seem to be the case. And in my eyes, Shrek, as I call him, Sean Darcy, is just a lock. I know, look, he's probably not a lock for many people, but just with the scoring upside, I can't not go there. I just can't. I know you worry watching him; he's going to fall apart every 2 seconds, and his crazy stat line on the weekend, we're already on 47 Dream Team and just still almost hunned up. He's just crazy good, and he's perfect for SuperCoach. He hits, nearly every second hit out down a teammate's throat, and when you get 5 points for him, it's not hard to rack up the points. So I'm going to find it really hard to go without him, and I just don't think I will. The toss-up for me still to round one is Gawn or Grundy. And at this stage, I just liked what I saw from Max. I still think Grundy will be solid. I just really have doubts over the Pies and the midfield and what their year is going to look like. So, want to pick the guy like Gawn who's going to be on the best team in the comp and can still push for a 120 average. So, Jack Hayes on the bench. Look, it could be him, could be Hugh Dixon. We'll see what happens there. Maybe even a Coleman randomly pops up and gets picked, but we will see. He's just who I got at this stage. Now, look, the forward line, the first two, Dunks and Butters, don't really need speaking about. First three, for that matter, Cogs is just an absolute lock. Cherry is the one that sort of came on and look, it was looking like he was going to be the ruck in the intra club about 3 weeks ago. I didn't really buy any of it. I still thought Goldie's going to be around. They're going to play him, and Cherry's going to be still fighting for a spot. But he got concussed in that game, had to miss the first practice match, and in the second one he came straight back in, was named in the ruck, and rucked, more than Goldie did during the game. Of course, Goldie still got his fair share. But Cherry had more ruck contests and actually performed better in there. So I think he's in their plans, and I think he'll play round one. The question is, CCJ didn't play; he'll be back. They're saying for round one. Do they play all three? We'll see. I mean, the thing is, we won't know. I think they play Sunday until the Monday. The Friday night, which makes it a little hard. You'll only know extended benches up until Friday. So look, when you're locking out, Gov locks out on Thursday, so you won't know unless Cherry's named on the field. Of course, you can have a fair understanding. But if you say he's extended bench, you got to lock in Gov or Ralph Smith before then. Makes it a little tough. And then Will Brodie as well is one that is playing Sunday, so we won't know. as well until Friday night. So look, those guys, they're all a bit up in the air. But for me, if Cherry is named and is playing, he's the number one by far. So hopefully that goes ahead. Rochelle, I think, is just, again, very hard to pass up. We were lacking forward rookies as it is, and so he's just got to be there for me. Durden, I actually don't mind Durden as an on-field option. I really liked what I saw in the first half of that Pracky match, and even the one against the Saints a week before. His forward pressure is really, really good. Obviously, yes, he's a small forward, so it comes with periods of time where they just aren't going to score, and it's just a fact. It's just what's going to happen. But I do like his potential, and I like what he brings. So, look, that's not always going to turn into points, but for me, it means that he's coming straight back into that team if he's fit this week, and I think he has, decent scoring opportunities. He's a good tackler and sort of pounces on opportunities. So I like what he brings. McEntee, I think, is going to play. From all reports, with Fantasia out to start the season, Robbie Gray sort of pushing to fight for round one to prove his fitness, and I think at this point McEntee is ahead of Mead and sort of can play the forward role better anyway. So from what I can tell, he'll play, and Nick Martin hopefully gets a gig for the Dons, who was also pretty impressive on the weekend. So that is the team. I'm not confident at all. I don't think any of us probably are at this stage. Look, having Wilmot at D8 is a massive risk that I don't know I'll go with. Not having Berry is... Look, I'll quickly speak on Berry before we go, and I was very impressed with his preseason. The first game, the first quarter of that first game against the Crows was really, really good. But he did spend a lot of time on the wing against the Dogs, and they don't have Zorko playing, or he wasn't playing, and I know he's probably in a fitness battle himself. But look, McCluggage was in more centre bounces than Berry, so look, it's a one-game sample. How much does it mean? I just think Berry is probably going to play more wing than inside. I might be wrong, and look, he's probably still good enough for a 75, 80 average, which, again, probably says why the hell wouldn't you start him, but I'm just choosing between him and Rao. I think Rao has the upside of 100 plus, so that's where I sit currently. Maybe that's recency bias, just seeing Rao sort of go off the other night. But look, let me know what you think. It is very probably weak at F6, you would say, and then probably the risks at sort of D8 are very. Look, put it this way, it's not something it's not something I like looking at either. But for this season, I just think maybe it's a couple of risks we might have to take. Pray we get Josh Sin. Pray we get another maybe forward rookie or two, and then we can all sort of feel safe about it, or a bit more safe anyway. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Got the mojo deals, we been tripping like 80. Pulling out the coupe at the lot.